Disgraced former Nine Network reporter Ben McCormack has received a 3-year good behavior bond after pleading guilty to child abuse material offences. The sentence, handed down in a Sydney court yesterday, came exactly 8 months after police raided his home and workplace in April. McCormack, 43, was then suspended from his role as a journalist on Nine's A Current Affair after he was charged with 2 counts of using a carriage service to transmit, publish or promote child abuse images, AAP reports. Police found McCormack had been using the online name Ounce for Skiboy in conversations with an unnamed man that began in 2015. He fantasized about young boys and their perfect bodies in the graphic chats, telling the other men he was a total beer-loving pedo and answering yep when asked if he thought he would always be AP. McCormack pleaded guilty in September. Yesterday, in handing down the sentence, Judge Paul Conlon said the offences were at the lowest end of the scale and that McCormack had sought psychological help in the past. Well before he was ever charged, he acknowledged the wrongness and inappropriateness of his conduct and he sought professional help, Conlon said, The Guardian reports. I am simply unable to conclude that the only appropriate sentence is one of imprisonment. Conlon agreed with McCormack's psychiatrist Michael Atherton, who told the court he didn't believe McCormack posed a risk to young people. There has been no attempt to sexually exploit children and no grooming of any child to partake in child pornography, Conlon said in his sentencing. Throughout the saga, Channel 9 has been quiet. The network promised to report on the case like any other, and it did, but it provided no color or context around what it was like to watch a colleague, a friend, come so undone for such an horrific crime. Now, that's changed and, following the verdict last night, A Current Affair presenter Tracy Grimshaw issued a statement. A real statement on behalf of the network and those who thought they knew him. I can tell you the reactions in our office from those of us who have worked with Ben McCormack for years. Some, his close friends, ranged from utter disbelief on the day he was charged to a mixture of sadness, shock and revulsion as the nature of the offences became clear, her article, published on 9 News reads. Initially, she hoped it was a mistake, that the police had gotten it wrong. But when she learned that HED called himself a proud pedo and confessed to feeling attracted to boys aged 7 to 13, she could no longer deny the allegations. How could he do that? We'd had no clue, of course, about any of it. She shines an unforgiving light on the hypocrisy of McCormack. That, in his role as a journalist, HED interviewed convicted